Jiraiya's death against Pain stands as one of Naruto's most devastating moments. The legendary Sanin infiltrated Amegakure alone, discovered the truth behind the 6 paths of pain, and died transmitting that knowledge to Konoha. His sacrifice set everything in motion: Naruto's Sage Mode training, Pain's assault, and the conversation that would break the cycle of hatred. Nagato himself admitted something crucial: if Jiraiya had discovered his secret earlier, the outcome would have been different. Today, we're exploring what would have happened if Jiraiya had escaped Amegakure alive. The battle that almost went differently. Jiraiya entered Amegakure to gather intelligence on Akatsuki's leader. He captured 2 Rain Ninja who revealed that Pain had single-handedly defeated Hanzo, the former leader. Before proceeding, Jiraiya summoned Garatora and instructed the Toad to deliver the seal key to Naruto if he fell, speculating that Madara Uchiha was responsible for the Nine Tails attack on Konoha. When Pain detected the intrusion, Konan attacked first. Jiraiya entered Sage Mode by summoning Fukasaku and Shima, who fused to his shoulders to gather natural energy continuously. His imperfect Sage Mode gave him a toad-like appearance with warts and elongated limbs, but granted enhanced speed, durability, and physical strength. The battle revealed 3 Rinnegan wielders. Jiraiya theorized each path possessed only one ability after the animal path exclusively used summons rather than jutsu. Fukasaku deduced the 3 paths shared vision through their Rinnegan eyes. Fukasaku and Shima prepared their Toad confrontation singing genjutsu while Jiraiya held the paths off. The sound-based technique trapped all 3 paths simultaneously, summoning demon toad statues that impaled the immobilized bodies. Jiraiya finished the animal path, human path, and Preta path while they remained helpless. Then the remaining 3 paths arrived. The Asura path attacked from behind, severing Jiraiya's left arm before he could react. The full 6 paths faced him with the 3 he defeated, restored by the Naraka path. He recognized the Deva path as Yahiko, his former student, questioning whether Pain was actually Nagato. The critical moment came when Jiraiya's throat was crushed by the Asura path before being stabbed by all 6 paths. As he lay dying, he forced himself back to life through sheer willpower, writing a coded message on Fukasaku's back. His final thoughts confirmed that Naruto was the child of prophecy before he sank into the water. Nagato later stated that if Jiraiya had figured out the secret of the 6 paths earlier, he would have won. The secret that the bodies were corpses controlled remotely by the real Nagato would have fundamentally changed Jiraiya's strategy. Instead of fighting 6 opponents, he would have searched for the controller. In this alternate timeline, Jiraiya makes that discovery 30 seconds earlier. Perhaps Fukasaku notices the chakra receivers during the genjutsu trap. Perhaps Jiraiya recognizes all 6 bodies as people from his past before the ambush. That half-minute provides enough time to retreat into the barrier, Toad Gourd prison. With this knowledge intact, his arm still attached, his throat uncrushed. Escape and Konoha's preparation. With both arms functional and the secret decoded, Jiraiya makes a tactical retreat. Sage Mode grants enhanced mobility, and the frog-like legs from his transformation enable superior jumping. He uses the rain-soaked pipes and buildings to create distance while Fukasaku relays what they learn. Jiraiya doesn't need to write a cryptic code. He escapes with complete intelligence the identities of the 6 paths, their individual abilities, the shared vision, the healing Naraka path, and most critically, that one person controls them all from a hidden location. The legendary Sanin retreats because intelligence gathered means nothing if nobody receives it. Pain doesn't pursue beyond Amegakure's borders. Jiraiya escaping means Konoha now knows his abilities. The element of surprise vanishes. Jiraiya returns wounded, exhausted, and carrying information that changes everything. In the original timeline, Konoha spent time deciphering his coded message while preparing defensive measures. Now Tsunade's former teammate stands before her, alive, explaining in detail what they face. The 6 paths of pain. The Rinnegan. The shared vision. The remote control. The healing body that must be eliminated first. The gravitational manipulation of the Deva path. Every ability cataloged, every weakness identified. The preparation becomes surgical rather than general. The Hyuga clan's Byakugan becomes critical for identifying chakra receivers. The Yamanaka sensory division receives briefings on detecting the real controller. Ainbu teams develop ambush tactics specifically designed to separate the paths and target the Naraka path first. Jiraiya works with Shikaku Nara on coordination strategies that exploit the 5-second cooldown between the Deva paths Shinra Tensei uses. Before we continue with Pain's assault, make sure to subscribe if you're finding value in this analysis. Naruto's training takes a different path. In the original timeline, Fukasaku arrived with news of Jiraiya's death, and Naruto fell into despair before eventually accepting training at Mount Myoboku. Now Jiraiya himself brings Naruto to the Toads. Rather than training fueled by grief and revenge, Naruto trains with his master's guidance. Fukasaku teaches Naruto Sage Mode, noting that Naruto surpassed Jiraiya by perfectly balancing natural energy with his chakra. While Jiraiya's imperfect Sage Mode gave him Toad-like features, Naruto achieved perfect balance with only the characteristic eye markings. With Jiraiya present, Naruto learns faster. His master provides first-hand experience about fighting pain, demonstrates techniques, and helps refine his approach to senjutsu. Most significantly, Jiraiya explains his encounter with Nagato, Yahiko, and Konan in detail. He tells Naruto about the orphans he trained, the idealism they once shared, and the tragedy that transformed them. This context plants seeds that will matter later. Pain's assault unfolds differently. Pain's assault begins the same way he and Konan arrive on the outskirts, eliminate the scouts, and send the animal path alone to fool the barrier team. The diversionary paths draw attention while Deva, human, and Naraka paths search for Naruto. The difference: Konoha's response is coordinated and informed rather than reactive and surprised. Hyuga clan members identify chakra receivers immediately. ANBU teams mark locations, track movements, and feed information to Shikaku Nara's command center. Squads specifically target the Naraka path the moment it's identified, following Jiraiya's briefing that eliminating the healer prevents pain from restoring defeated bodies. Jiraiya himself engages the Deva path directly. This confrontation becomes personal teacher against former student, though Yahiko's body houses someone else's will. Jiraiya in Sage Mode, with Fukasaku and Shima providing support, wields techniques refined over decades. The Deva path uses Shinra Tensei and Bansho Tenin with devastating effect, though Jiraiya anticipates the timing and cooldowns from his previous encounter. The legendary Sanin fights defensively, evacuating civilians while engaging pain. His objective? Buy time for Naruto's arrival while minimizing casualties and preventing pain from locating Naruto prematurely. In the original timeline, the Deva path used a massive Shinra Tensei to destroy the village, creating a crater while Tsunade protected civilians through Katsuyu. That same situation develops here, except Jiraiya's presence forces the Deva path's hand earlier. Pain recognizes that Jiraiya knows too much, coordinates Konoha's defense too effectively, and must be eliminated even at the cost of revealing the ultimate technique. The massive Shinra Tensei devastates Konoha regardless. Jiraiya survives through a combination of defensive summons and positioning. Tsunade still splits Katsuyu to protect civilians. The destruction remains catastrophic. The critical difference: Jiraiya lives through it, battered and exhausted, but alive. Naruto's arrival and the confrontation. Naruto arrives via reverse summoning technique, unable to recognize his destroyed home. The emotional impact remains devastating. His village lies in ruins. Friends and civilians are injured or dead. Pain stands at the epicenter of destruction. The difference: Jiraiya stands there too, wounded and supporting himself against Gamabunta, but present. Naruto's rage still burns, but the dynamic shifts. He fights not to avenge a fallen master, but alongside a living one. The battle against the 6 paths of pain becomes a coordinated assault. In the original timeline, Naruto dispatched the paths using Sage Mode, Frog Kata, and Wind Release Rasen Shuriken before confronting the Deva path. Now Jiraiya provides tactical support, exploiting openings Naruto creates, and compensating when Sage Mode runs out. The teamwork demonstrates everything Jiraiya taught Naruto. They coordinate like Fukasaku and Shima coordinate, with Jiraiya covering weaknesses, amplifying strengths, fighting as extensions of each other. The 6 paths fall faster under their combined assault. When the Deva path pins Naruto with black receivers, Hinata professes her love and attempts to free him before being struck down. This moment still occurs, triggering the same emotional devastation. Naruto transforms into his 6-tailed form, losing control as the 9 tails hatred overwhelms him. Here, Jiraiya's presence becomes critical. In the original timeline, Minato's chakra would have appeared within Naruto's consciousness to restore the seal only when the transformation reached 8 tails and threatened to break the seal completely. Now Jiraiya reaches Naruto at 6 tails, using his connection as godfather and master to pull Naruto back from the edge before the transformation progresses to that threshold where Minato's failsafe would activate. The battle concludes with both Jiraiya and Naruto exhausted, the 6 paths defeated, and the path to Nagato's location revealed through the chakra receivers. They travel together to confront the real body behind pain. The meeting with Nagato's emaciated form provides answers. Nagato explains his war-torn childhood, his training with Jiraiya, and the tragedy that transformed Akatsuki from a peace organization into a force pursuing peace through pain. In the original timeline, Naruto faced this moment alone. He listened to Nagato's story, acknowledged his pain, and chose to believe in Jiraiya's teachings by sparing his enemy. That decision represented Naruto's rejection of revenge as an answer. Now Jiraiya witnesses this confrontation directly. He sees what his students became. He hears how his leaving contributed to their suffering, how Yahiko's death broke something fundamental in Nagato, how desperation and manipulation transformed idealism into extremism. The conversation includes all 3 student, former student, and master. Jiraiya carries responsibility and guilt. Naruto carries the weight of being the child of prophecy, uncertain about how to break cycles his master couldn't prevent. Nagato, dying from overextending his abilities, faces both the master he once revered and the junior student who embodies everything he lost. In the original timeline, Naruto declared he would find a path to peace, aided by his own morality. Now that declaration includes Jiraiya's acknowledgement of his own failures and commitment to supporting Naruto's different approach. The outcome remains similar. Nagato uses his remaining chakra to revive everyone he killed in Konoha through the samsara of heavenly life technique, sacrificing himself. The difference lies in closure. Nagato dies having reconciled with Jiraiya, acknowledging that the path he chose led to nothing but more suffering. Jiraiya receives the chance to tell his student that the idealism they shared wasn't wrong, only the methods that desperation drove Nagato toward. Konan departs with Nagato's body, but the conversation with Jiraiya plants different seeds. She knows her former master survived. She knows Naruto chose differently. These factors influence her later decisions regarding the Akatsuki, the war, and beyond. Jiraiya's survival creates cascading effects through the 4th Great Ninja War. The most immediate impact: when Kabuto reanimates an army of deceased ninja, Jiraiya isn't among them. Kishimoto confirmed Jiraiya was never reanimated because his corpse was lost at the bottom of the ocean in Amegakure. Instead, the legendary Sanin fights as one of the Allied Shinobi Forces commanders. His intelligence network, his combat experience, and his strategic mind prove invaluable. He coordinates with the other Kage and leaders, helps counter Kabuto's Edo Tensei army, and provides crucial guidance about fighting Akatsuki members he encountered during his intelligence gathering. When Obito reveals himself as Tobi and declares war, Jiraiya's earlier suspicions about Madara's involvement in the Ninetales attack prove partially correct and Uchiha was responsible, though it was Obito rather than Madara himself. This knowledge helps the Allied forces understand their enemy's motivations and capabilities. Naruto's development throughout the war benefits from Jiraiya's continued mentorship. In the original timeline, Jiraiya's death served as a catalyst for Naruto's growth, teaching him about sacrifice and responsibility. Now those lessons come through active teaching rather than posthumous example. Jiraiya's perspective on Sasuke's path might provide Naruto with additional tools for reaching his friend. Jiraiya knew Orochimaru, understood how obsession and isolation corrupted his former teammate, and recognized the patterns. His insights give Naruto not just determination, but understanding of what happens when talented ninja lose themselves to hatred. When Madara and Obito initiate the Ten Tails revival, Jiraiya fights alongside Naruto, who now wields Kurama's chakra in full partnership. The contrast between their fighting styles, Jiraiya's decades of experience versus Naruto's overwhelming power and innovation, creates combinations that surprise even veteran fighters. The appearance of Hagoromo Otsutsuki and the final confrontations with Kaguya proceed similarly, as those events stem from factors beyond Jiraiya's survival. However, the emotional landscape differs. Naruto doesn't fight to honor a fallen master's memory. He fights alongside his living master, proving that the child of prophecy could fulfill the prophecy without requiring his teacher's death as motivation. The war's conclusion sees Naruto and Sasuke's final confrontation at the Valley of the End, proceeding largely as it did originally. That conflict stems from their personal ideologies and their relationship factors. Jiraiya's survival doesn't directly influence. Naruto still reaches Sasuke, still convinces him to abandon his path of revolution. The difference lies in what comes after. Jiraiya survives to see the peace his teachings and his student achieved. He witnesses Naruto become Hokage. The man who wrote tales of heroism sees his student become the greatest hero the ninja world has known. Jiraiya's intelligence network continues operating, now dedicated to maintaining peace rather than gathering information about threats. His role shifts from wandering sage to advisor, similar to how Kakashi served Tsunade. His relationship with Naruto matures from master-student to colleagues. The Boruto era brings new challenges. Kashin Koji, a clone of Jiraiya created by Amato, played a key role in infiltrating Kara and confronting Ishiki Otsutsuki. With Jiraiya alive, the creation of Kashin Koji likely doesn't occur, or occurs differently. Amato's plans require adjustment when the template he needs still lives. Drop a comment below on whether Jiraiya's survival would ultimately strengthen or weaken Naruto's development as a leader and hero. Conclusion: the cost of survival. Survival carries its own weight. Jiraiya living means Naruto never experiences that particular devastation, never stands at his master's grave, never promises to carry on his legacy while holding back tears. The pain of Jiraiya's death served as a catalyst. It taught Naruto about loss, responsibility, and the weight of sacrifice. It gave him personal understanding of the pain Sasuke felt when losing his family. Without that specific trauma, Naruto's path requires different lessons. He still loses people during the war. He still understands sacrifice and pain. The difference: he learns these lessons without losing the person who believed in him when nobody else did, who taught him not just techniques but values, who stood as the closest thing to a father Naruto knew before discovering his true parentage. The question becomes whether growth requires that specific pain. Did Naruto need to lose Jiraiya to become who he needed to be, or could he have reached the same destination through different trials, with his master beside him rather than memorialized behind him? Jiraiya's survival doesn't erase conflict or tragedy. People still die. Villages still face threats. The cycle of hatred doesn't break simply because one man escapes death. What changes is Naruto fighting with his master's guidance rather than his ghost. Konoha gains an intelligence expert and combat veteran who helps navigate post-war reconstruction. The allied shinobi forces gain a coordinator who understands both politics and combat. Naruto gains a mentor who helps him transition from war hero to Hokage. The cost: Naruto's independence comes later, guided rather than forced. His understanding of sacrifice develops through witnessing rather than experiencing the ultimate loss. His resolve stems from determination to fulfill his master's teachings, with that master watching, judging, and inevitably being proud. Jiraiya's sacrifice in the original timeline created a martyr whose death rallied Konoha and devastated enemies by revealing their secrets posthumously. His survival creates a living legend whose experience and wisdom serve the peace he always sought. Neither outcome is objectively superior. They represent different paths toward the same destination. The Toad Sage wrote stories about heroes who died gloriously, achieving immortality through legendary deaths. His own death fit that mold, perfectly discovered the enemy's secret, transmitted crucial intelligence, and passed the torch to his student who would change the world. His survival writes a different story, the master who lived to see his student surpass every expectation, who supported the child of prophecy, not through martyrdom but through continued presence. In the end, both timelines lead to peace. One required Jiraiya's death as the catalyst. The other suggests his life could have contributed just as profoundly. The difference lies not in the destination, but in who stands beside Naruto when they arrive, a legacy or a living master. The choice between these timelines isn't about which is better. It's about understanding that growth, sacrifice, and heroism take many forms. Jiraiya's death inspired greatness through absence. His survival could have supported greatness through presence. Both honor the bond between master and student. Both recognize that the child of prophecy would change the world, with or without witnessing the death of his teacher. The real question isn't whether Jiraiya should have survived. It's whether we recognize that the stories we tell about sacrifice sometimes blind us to the value of perseverance, that martyrdom isn't the only path to meaning, and that sometimes the greatest gift a master can give isn't a heroic death, but a life spent supporting the student who will surpass them. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.